Call of Duty points are now in Infinite Warfare. If you want the best way to get free Call of Duty points, click the link down in the description, install the app, and start getting yourself some free Call of Duty points today. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Infinite Warfare video. As you guys probably know, I uploaded a video earlier today talking about a huge patch update that came out into Infinite Warfare today. A bunch of things were changed and I covered it all in my video. But tonight's video actually, is going to be about what I believe to be the best gun in Infinite Warfare now after these nerfs. And we're going to be talking about that and all sorts of stuff. I also get a nuke in this gameplay, which is absolutely awesome, so make sure you guys stick around and watch that. But let's go for 2,500 likes. That's going to be the like goal for today. I'd really appreciate if you guys could all hit that like button, boys. 2,500 likes would be the goal. Smash that like button. As soon as you guys know, when you hit that like button, the like button turns blue. I'd appreciate if you guys could all like this thing. Also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And let's get right into this. So, I've been known for saying that the raw LMG is the best gun in the game, and I strongly believed it was the best gun in the game. However, in this latest patch update, where if you guys missed out on the patch update, watching my video earlier, I cover everything on it, but the raw was actually nerfed. They increased the hip spread on it, and they also increased the recoil. So now what I believe to be the best gun in the game is going to be this NV4 assault rifle. Now, this game, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, in the beta, it was 100% dominated by SMGs. SMGs outplayed assault rifles in all sorts of means. And then when the real game came out, they made a bunch of huge changes. And in the real game, ever since November 4th, the release date, assault rifles have dominated the game. Now, in this latest patch update, they tried to even the playing field out a little bit. And they ended up nerfing a bunch of the big assault rifles. They nerfed the OSA, which is the ARX. They basically nerfed that thing quite a bit. I'll read you guys out the patch notes just in case you missed the video earlier today. Basically, this thing with the OSA no longer has reduced hip spread relative to other assault rifles. It inherits the new values set on assault rifles in this patch and increased recoil to compensate for high fire rate being used at range. So the ARX, which is the OSA classic weapon, now has even increased recoil, and it also has the normal hip spread of other assault rifles. It doesn't have a better hip spread than that. So that was a pretty big nerf to that, which was used. The OSA was actually used by a bunch of pro players, and most pro players used that gun, as well as the K-Bar, which the K-Bar got a huge nerf as well. Increased hip spread values that are still lower than the base assault rifle hip spread to keep the weapon steam. So the hip spread has been weakened, or there's more spread in the hip fire, which basically means the more spread, the worse the hip fire is. So there's worse hip fire in the K-Bar. However, the K-Bar still has better hip fire than all the other assault rifles because it's made to be an up-close sort of gun. However, it also got nerfed so it no longer has a reduction in recoil on the first shot and reduced the 5-shot kill range. A pretty big nerf to the K-Bar at range, which ends up with this gun being a lot weaker as well. So the two main guns that pro players would use and that were known as the best assault rifles in the game got pretty big nerfs, the K-Bar and the OSA. Now, the Volk assault rifle, which is sort of like the AK-47, that one got a big buff. Basically what they did to that one was a slight reduction in recoil and increased 3-shot kill range. However, I've been playing with the Volk, and however, it does feel like as good as it was when the game first came out before they nerfed it. This buff on the Volk still doesn't make it nearly the best gun in the game, which I would say the best gun in the game because of these changes to the assault rifles and to the LMGs, and pretty much no buffs to the SMGs. This NV4 is the only one that remains untouched. Well, it wasn't untouched completely because they did increase the base spread of hipfire for all assault rifles, even the NV4. But if you're hipfiring with the NV4, you're doing it wrong. This gun is the best gun in the game right now after this patch update, and the reason why I believe this is because this thing is absolutely amazing at close range, and it's amazing at long range, and especially if you have the version which is the epic version of the NV4, that one is absolutely insane because it gives you infinite damage range, which means it's a 4-shot kill at all ranges. But the version I like to use is the NV4 Fallout, which is the nuke variant and also reduces the recoil. This thing, you don't even need to run a grip on it, and it has very little to no recoil, which is why I would say this is the best gun in the game because of its consistency. This gun is awesome with the silencer. It's a consistent 4-shot kill every single time, pretty much, unless they're at super range, which you can still take them out because there's no recoil. Even if it's in a 5-shot or 6-shot kill range, you're going to be killing them with no recoil. And this gun has a nuke variant on it. This gun will not let you down. I'm a big fan of consistency, and this gun is definitely the one you're going to want to run. Now, as far as the other assault rifles in this game, a lot of them are still pretty good. For example, the R3K got a buff in this patch update. It's one bursting people as well. I went on as soon as I made the video on the patch updates and played with all these weapons, tested them all out. And the R3K is definitely a lot better. You can one burst people at pretty close range. However, it's still not the best, and I think it's still a little bit weak. The K-Bar 32, of course, got the nerf along with the OSA. And the Type 2 is also a very good gun. I say the Type 2 is probably your second best assault rifle compared to this NV4. The Type 2 is absolutely amazing, a full auto energy rifle, and it can even split into akimbo for close quarters, which is kind of good, even though akimbo in this game, in the latest patch, akimbo was nerfed across the board. Anything akimbo has been nerfed and has a worse hip fire on it. And that's basically why I'd say NV4, this is the weapon you're going to want to use, and I would not be surprised if all pro players start, in the next coming, days or weeks when they get adjusted to this patch update. I wouldn't be surprised if all pro players start using this weapon, the NV4, because of how good it is and how consistent it is. Now, in pro play, of course, there isn't variant, so it might be a little bit different, and the pro players might still stick to a K-bar, but for public matches, because of the variants you can have on this gun, the legendary and the epic variants and how consistent they are, I have to say the NV4 is the gun you're going to want to go to, and you guys will see in this gameplay here how I get a nuke with this thing. Now, this gun very much reminds me of two guns, the ACR from Modern Warfare 3 and the Honey Badger from COD Ghost. And the reason why I set this gun up with, if you guys don't know the class setup, you guys should definitely look up the class setup on my channel, but I always use the same 3 attachments on this gun: quick draw, silencer, and stock. That's the same setup I use every single time because of how deadly this thing is with it. You don't need to have anything other than that. You don't need a grip. This gun has no recoil. Quick draw, stock, silencer makes this gun feel like you can rush with it, and I feel comfortable walking into a building with enemies. Now, this thing doesn't melt people extremely as fast as something like the Type 2 will, but what it makes up for with that is its consistency. Basically, knowing you have no recoil on the gun helps you out so much. There's so many head glitches on these maps, and especially, a map like Scorch or a map like Frontier, enemies are going to be posting up on head glitches, and if your gun has recoil and you have to hit that little specific spot where the enemies, basically what a head glitch is it's any sort of cover where you can only see the enemy's shoulders or their head. If you're using a gun with recoil, you're going to have trouble hitting that. However, with this NV4, it's 100% reliable, and the only thing that this gun is not good at is at super close ranges or with hip firing, which you basically never have to hip fire because of having quick draw. When you have quick draw on the gun, that basically, it's obvious that you're not going to want to hip fire, but you can aim in so fast. Also, I've dropped my sensitivity. I was using like a 6 and a 6 sensitivity, and I dropped that down to a 5 and a 5 sensitivity for using this NV4, and that's what I think I'm going to stick with, is a 5.5 sensitivity, because that really keeps my aim steady, and aim is 100% a super reliable thing on this gun. You guys will see there, I just called in my freaking de-atomizer strike, which was absolutely awesome. I don't think, did I just call it in? Yeah, I'm about to get it here, something like that. The de-atomizer strike is absolutely awesome, and that is obviously something you can attain with this variant. Yeah, I'm 2 kills off right now, so I'm about to get it in a second. Definitely the big thing about this game is that weapons where you have that nuke variant are highly more promised, and it is cool that, in my opinion, like I said, the Type 2 and the NV4 are the best assault rifles, and those are variants where we have the nuke on it. I think that's definitely a plus, and I think in the future, if you guys didn't know, Infinite Warfare, the people at Activision actually put out a statement saying that they expect their microtransactions for Infinite Warfare to be even beyond and above Black Ops 3 in sales, which probably means we're going to be seeing a crap load of DLC. We've seen a lot of DLC in Advanced Warfare. We've seen a lot of DLC in Black Ops 3, but with them saying that, I think we can be safe to expect we're going to see the amount of DLC that we've never seen before, and I think something included in that DLC is going to be, like we just saw with the variants, a lot more variant DLCs, probably even by the end of this year. I would be surprised, or I wouldn't even be surprised, if we had a nuke variant for every single gun, including the classic weapons. I think classic weapon variants are something we're going to see as well, and I think more classic weapons. I basically just think that the DLC for this year is going to be absolutely insane. And of course, when you have a bunch of variants, you have a bunch of new weapons in DLC, they're going to have to make a lot of patch updates. So the best guns in the game could be changing and will be changing throughout the whole year. And of course, I'll keep you guys updated. Once again, like I said, the NV4 being the best gun in the game is just my opinion. Of course, if you guys play like our super fast rushing playstyle, your best gun in the game might be the Ripper or something like that, because you know, the NV4 is not going to be as good at super close range as an SMG, but I think just with the map design and with how this game plays, nothing plays better to that than this NV4 assault rifle, and that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Thanks for watching, guys. Once again, I want to say the raw LMG is still a good LMG. It does just have a little bit more recoil and really bad hipfire, which it already had bad hipfire. Seemed like hipfire was a big focus point of this patch, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like on this thing. 2,500 likes would be absolutely awesome. And if you guys could, I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe for a cookie and not lookie, and I'm out. Peace.